Welcome back to Mysteries of Haitian Vodou, Episode 3, the podcast where we peel back the layers of one of the most misunderstood spiritual traditions in the world. I'm your host, Papa Mystique.
And I'm Natara Rose. Today's episode is one I've been looking forward to because we're diving into the heart of Haitian Voodoo's cosmic architecture. We're talking about the Holy Trinity of Loa, Danmbala Wedo, Erzulie Dantor, and Ogou Feray.
These are not just any law, they are called the Holy Trinity for a reason. So let's start with Danmbala. He's ancient, he's sacred, he's a symbol of life, creation, and cosmic wisdom. He slithers through the history of West Africa, the shores of Dahomey, and into the spirit of Haiti itself.
And unlike many of the Morpheus Loa you may have heard of, Danmbala brings peace and tranquility. He is that breath of clarity in a chaotic world.
So let's start with his origins. Danmbala Wedo comes from the tradition of the Fon people of Dahomey, which is now Benin. And he shares connections with Yoruba deities like Oxumari. And in these African traditions, serpents are not feared, they are revered. They represent creation, wisdom, and eternity. When enslaved Africans were brought to Haiti, they didn't leave their gods behind. They carried Dambala in their memory, in their hearts. And in voodoo, he transformed into one of the most honored Rada Loa. Rada Loa, for those just tuning in, are spirits associated with peace, order, and ancestry. And Dambala is at the very top of that chain. He's the primordial force. When the creator, Glamet, made the universe, Dambala was there. It's said that from his mouth came the stars, the Zétoiles. His movements shaped the land, and when he slithered through the earth, rivers and oceans followed. That's why he's often seen as the force behind all life. Dambala is usually depicted as a large serpent, pure white or shimmering green. His colors, white, silver, and blue, are symbols of purity and the divine. His movement represents the rhythm of life, and his sacred items reflect that too. When voodooisants honor him, they offer things like egg whites, cool water, milk, honey, white cloth, and coconut. Every offering must be clean and pure. And his vev, which is the sacred symbol drawn during ceremonies, often features a snake encircling an egg. That egg is life itself, the planet, creation in its most vulnerable, most sacred form. That symbolism goes deep. The egg represents the womb of the universe. The snake, Danbala, encircles it, protecting it, activating it. It's not just a male or female, it's both. It's the union of creation and knowledge. And Danbala, he's never alone. He's always with Aida Wedo, the rainbow serpent. Together, they represent the duality of the universe: sky and earth, water and air, masculine and feminine. They are inseparable. You can't tell one without the other. Dambala is the white serpent. Aida is the rainbow, the bridge. Together, their energies call around each other like DNA, literally the building blocks of life. And that dance is echoed in the human body. Voodoo teaches that everyone has a serpent at the base of their spine, a hidden force of life and knowledge ready to awaken.
That sounds like Kundalini wisdom right there. And during possession, I read that when Dambala enters, a devotee's speech disappears. The person slithers, hisses, and moves like a serpent on the ground. It's quiet, holy, and there's no shouting, no chaos, just reverence.
Dambala isn't just confined to one rite. You'll find them in Arata, Congo, Nago, and even Petro, where he appears as Danmbala la Flambeau. Petro law are usually fiery, intense, but even here, Danmbala shows up differently. He brings light and flame, not to destroy, but to illuminate, to burn away ignorance. Some traditions also say he's connected with traditional medicine and even paired with a spirit named Madeline in that context. But his heart always belongs to Aida Wedo, and they rule together, gently, but with power. They are the cosmic parents of voodoo, offering peace, healing, knowledge, and renewal. When life feels off balance, Danbala realigns it.
So, what does Dambala mean in the modern world?
I think he reminds us of the power of silence, of wisdom, of patience. In a world full of noise, Danbala teaches us to slow down, to listen, to feel the deeper rhythms of life. For those looking to connect with him, it's not about loud praise or spectacle. It's about stillness, cleanliness, reverence, a glass of cool water, a white egg, a moment of peace.
And maybe, just maybe, it's about remembering the wisdom of the ancestors, of nature, of the eternal serpent that lies coiled within each of us, waiting to awaken.
Danmbala Wedo, the cosmic serpent, the father of knowledge, the breath of life, a spirit who brings peace in a world desperate for it.
So, next, we're going to talk about a warrior, a mother, a protector, a force born in blood and fire. We're talking about none other than Erzulie Dantor.
Yeah, so she's one of the most powerful Loa in Haitian voodoo. You don't call on her lightly. You don't approach her without sincerity. She is Petuo fire. She is revolution. She's justice wrapped in a mother's embrace and a mother's wrath.
Let's take it back. Erzulie Dantor is not an ancient imported spirit. She is Haiti. While her name Erzulie shares roots with West African water spirits, from the Fawn Erzulie or the Yoruba's Ashun, Dantor is something new, something forged. Can you expand on that?
Yes, so she's forged in the brutality of slavery and the screams of the whip and the silence of broken families. Dantor was born in that crucible. She rose not gently, but like thunder. And some say she was present at Bwa Kayiman, the secret voodoo ceremony in 1791 that sparked the Haitian Revolution. We talked about this.
The stories say that she was there when the rebels swore to break the chains. They say her energy lit that night on fire. That she was one who fueled the courage. Erzulie Dantor became a very spirit of rebellion.
And here's where things get real interesting. You've probably seen her, even if you didn't know. Erzulie Dantor's image is the Black Madonna of Poland, a dark-skinned Virgin Mary with a scar across her cheek. Enslaved Haitians saw that image in the Catholic churches and they said, that's her. That's our mother. Not just Mary, but Dantor. The scarred face, the fierce eyes, the silent strength. She became a holy mirror, and her scars, they became sacred. While Catholic colonizers tried to force the saints on our ancestors, the people looked deeper. They recognized that Black Madonna, a spirit of survival, a mother who had been through it and was still standing.
Let's talk Peytor. I read in your book that Dantor is Peytor Itlowa, which means she comes from the hot, fast, furious side of voodoo. Peytor ceremonies aren't soft. They're fierce. The drumming is sharp. The air smells of rum, sweat, and smoke. It's electric.
That fire, it's not rage for rage's sake, it's righteous. Dantor's domain is justice. She defends single mothers, the abused, the betrayed. If you've been wrong, she'll ride for you. She's the law of mothers who raise babies alone, of women who had to fight for respect, of the poor and the overlooked. If Erzulie Feray is soft and dreamy, Dantor is sharp, bold, and real. Let's not forget, she bears a child in one arm and the blade in the other. That image says it all. Love and violence, nurture and protection. She holds life and she defends it with force.
How do you serve Erzulie Dantor?
With fire, for starters, she loves spiced rum, strong black coffee, unsalted grill, peanuts, plantains, cigars, tobacco. None of it sweet. All of it is strong. She doesn't want any fancy perfumes like Freda. She wants real, bold, raw. You bring her offerings that have heat and substance. You come to her ready.
And when she comes in possession?
You'll know it. The voice deepens, movements become protective, aggressive even. The air shifts, her presence fills the room like smoke. She's there to shield or strike. Some say she cries, others say she rages. But always there's power. No pretending. You show your truth or you don't show up at all.
In your book, I saw her Vev, and it's one of the most beautiful and haunting. A heart pierced with daggers, pain and love side by side. That's Dantor. And her colors?
Deep blue, fiery red, and sometimes black, the palette of revolution. She's often honored with the black rooster, symbolizing sacrifice and strength. Her realm isn't pretty. It's not romantic. It's survival. And her tools, knives, swords, they're laid down on her altar as signs of loyalty. Because if she protects you for life. But if you betray her, if you cross her, then you meet a wrath that even other spirits fear. Erzulie Dantor isn't just a law of the past. She's here now, and every woman who stands up and says, enough, and every person who's had to survive on their own and still found the strength to care for someone else, that's Dantor. She's especially loved by single mothers, queer communities, and the marginalized. People who are tired of being stepped on. People who don't want fantasy, they want power. She is Haiti. She's the revolution that never ends. A reminder that love can be fierce and that survival is sacred. And she still watches. She still waits, ready to protect, ready to burn for you if you're bold enough to meet her gaze. Erzulie Dantor, the warrior, the mother, blade, flame, protector. If you feel her calling, be ready to face your truth and walk with power.
And finally, we're forging our way into the fire with one of the most powerful, commanding, essential Loa in the Haitian Vodou pantheon, Ogou Feray.
Yes. Ogou isn't just one spirit. He's a whole family of warriors, blacksmiths, tacticians, and revolutionaries. But today we are zeroing in on Ogou Feray, the ironclad force of justice, war, and leadership.
And when we say ironclad, we mean that literally. I read in your book, Ogun's origins trace all the way back to West Africa. Among the Yoruba, he's Ogun, the Orisha of iron, technology, and warfare. He's the one that forges the tools that build civilizations and the weapons that defend them.
Facts. And when our ancestors were chained and forced across the Atlantic, they didn't just bring pain, they brought power. They brought Ogou. And in Haiti, that power evolved. Ogou was reborn in fire and blood during the Haitian Revolution.
Was he there at Bwa Kayiman?
His spirit pulsed through the Dessalines sword, whispered in Toussaint's strategy. He wasn't just watching, he was fighting right alongside the people. Now, Ogou's not just about physical war. He's also about inner strength, discipline, and mental resilience. He stands for protection, leadership, and above all, honor. If you're in a battle for truth, Ogou is the one you want behind you. Ogou exists across different voodoo rites. You'll find him in both Rada, which is cooler, calmer, and Petro, where he burns hot. Ogou Feray, oh, he's Petro all day. That heat, that fire, that revolutionary energy. And that's what makes him so vital in modern voodoo practice. He's the Loa you call when you need courage to fight back or the wisdom to lead. He's a father figure, but he's no pushover. Never. He's also a protector of the nation. His Catholic counterpart is St. James the Greater, riding a white horse with a sword in his hand. Some associate him with St. George, slaying dragons. Either way, he's never unarmed. So, let me paint a picture. When Ogou arrives, you'll see a muscular man, sometimes shirtless, wrapped in red or blue, maybe both. His machete gleams in the light. He might also appear as a blacksmith with a hammer raised, sparks flying. He's bold, charismatic, intense. His colors, red for blood and strength, blue for protection and clarity. His symbols, iron, sword, nails, chains, every one of them forged with meaning. And let's talk offerings. If you want to honor Ogou, you better come correct. We're talking about clan piment, raw rum, mixed with scotch bonnet and other hot peppers.
Oof, that's not for the faint of heart.
Exactly. You can also bring beef, raw or cooked, peanuts, cigars, and anything iron. A machete laid at his feet is not just a gift, it's a pledge of loyalty. And then there's the Vev, Ogul's sacred symbol. It's often drawn with crossed blades on anvil, channeling the fire and the metal. When that Vev hits the ground during ceremony, it's a signal. Something serious about to happen.
Possession by Ogu is
It's intense. You know it when it happens. There's no mistaking it. He moves like a soldier, feet stomping, chest out, voice booming. He might pick up a machete, swing it in precise arcs, or bark commands like a general on the battlefield. He might demand rum. He'll spit fire, literally, and cigars, or even iron. His presence demands respect. And when he speaks, it's usually to get people back in line, to call out lies, or to bring protection to the vulnerable. He doesn't sugarcoat. Ogu tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
And that's the thing, Ogun isn't stuck in history. He's just as relevant now as he was in 1791.
Real talk. Today, you'll see people calling on Ogu for strength in activism, in legal battles, and struggles against injustice, politicians, police officers, community leaders, and even ordinary folks trying to make it through a tough day. And especially black men and women trying to walk in strength and dignity. Ogu represents responsibility, discipline, honor, and let's not forget, he also stands for justice. He doesn't tolerate betrayal or cowardice. But if your heart is pure and your intentions are just, he will stand with you with his sword drawn. So if you're feeling pulled toward Ogu, remember this: approach him with purpose. Be clear, be honest, be brave. He's not here for games. Ogu expects offerings with heat, spirit, and truth. You can light a red candle, pour out some clan pima, lay out a small iron object, and speak from the heart.
Tell him your truth and then listen. Because when Ogu speaks, it's more than words, it's transformation.
That's right. And that's it for today's episode on the Holy Trinity of the Loire.
If the Loa have touched your life or you felt their presence, let us know. Drop a comment, share this episode, and as always, honor the spirits who walk with you.
You can also visit voodoomistique.com for more content, digital downloads, and to support the movement. Until next time, stay protected, stay powerful, and stay in voodoo. Ayi Bobo.